And I want their parents to put it against Union Pacific. Whatever happened to your kid, make Union Pacific bury your child, because this is unacceptable.
My name's Erin Douglas. I'm a reporter at the Houston Chronicle, and I started reporting on the Fifth Ward contamination early last year. I think my story published in April. I learned about it when some neighbors near the rail yard told me that they thought there might be contamination near their homes. So after that, I started reporting the story, and I ended up breaking a story about creosote contamination, which is a wood preservative that had been used for decades in the rail yard and had resulted in legacy groundwater contamination in the area.
My name is Sandra Edwards. I am a Fifth Ward resident. It's like vapors coming up, like this is my home. It's being repaired. I'm a Harvey victim as well. But if you sit out in this yard, it's real hot, you can just see the waves and the vapors coming through the ground. I mean, it's still here. I'm living in the plume. This whole street is living in the plume. So when it gets too hot, the rays come up through the ground. And when it rains, we have rainbow water still running off in the streets. And there's no way they're gonna be able to clean this up. You cannot convince nobody over here that you can clean up 40 years of waste and contamination can be cleaned up. And then like the scientists told us yesterday, it's gonna take 100 years. I'm 54. Do I have 100 more years to go? No, I do not. And I'm moving back on the 15th. I want to know, am I going to be contaminated? Am I going to live through this or what? Which we already know the answer.
So what Union Pacific has said and continues to say is that residents are not currently being exposed to creosote. That's sort of out for debate right now because we're still waiting on some testing. And what environmental experts are concerned about is whether or not the plume of contamination that's below these homes is evaporating and harmful vapors infiltrating people's homes, into the air, into the soil, etc. We don't know if that's happening or not. We don't know to what extent it might be happening because there just hasn't been enough testing at this point to definitively say. What we do know is that residents had a lot of contact with the substance in the past.
Get these people out of here because they steady killing these kids. The kids is my concern. They don't have a future if they don't stop this now. If they don't stop now, those kids do not have a future. And I want their parents to put it against Union Pacific. Whatever happened to your kid, make Union Pacific bury your child. Because this is unacceptable. It shouldn't have to go through this. Your kids should have a freedom to be able to grow up and have a decent life. Not have to live in shit like this. This is unacceptable. I had to grow up in it. I'm making sure don't nobody else have to grow up in it. Because that's not fair to a human. I wouldn't do a dog like that that's more human. So yeah, they need to do something. Something needs to happen.
At a town hall meeting, I believe in the spring, Sheila Jackson Lee's office, the congresswoman representing the area, asks the State Environmental Agency, hey, can you get the State Health Agency to do a cancer cluster analysis on this area to see if there are higher rates of cancer in this area affected by the contamination? And the State Health Agency says, yeah, we'll do that analysis. So they did the analysis for census tracts immediately surrounding the Inglewood rail yard. And what they found was, yes, there are higher rates of cancer in the area, higher rates of specific adult cancers. Those cancers are correlated with the cancers that may be caused by the contamination contained in creosote.
Yeah, my father, he died. My father had gotten in his 70s. All of a sudden, you just wind up with bone cancer? Really? And you've been here for over 60 years and you just wind up sick all of a sudden. And then you die 2 months later after we find out. Not fair at all. My dad was a carpenter. Started getting sick, so it slowed him down. I watched him deteriorate. He sit out on his swing every day. For somebody that couldn't even walk out this house and sit out on his swing and watch just look at the birds and stuff, that hurt. That hurt. It takes a lot out of you when you see your loved one. When you see your loved one just deteriorate from day to day, in 2 months and just drop. It hurts. It takes a lot out of you. You don't bounce back from that easy. You do not come back from that.
What's killing their neighbors, they wonder what's killing their mothers and their uncles and their brothers and sisters, and they want answers, and a lot of times they don't get them, especially in environmental contamination cases, because it's so difficult. Experts have told me to definitively say that this contamination or this contaminant caused cancer, but what is heartbreaking is that people are dying and these communities don't know why. And they say to me, my sister never smoked, she never drank, we don't have cancer in our family, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's just crazy that, I hope that we do get answers, and I hope that whether we find out that it is the creosote causing it or some other environmental contaminant or something else entirely, I just hope that through reporting this and through the attention that has been brought on it from public officials, etc., I hope that we are able to get some answers for this community, because I think that is probably what they're most frustrated with.
I hope and pray Union Pacific do the right thing, step up, clean this shit up, and conversate these people over here. It ain't but 5 of us left over here. If you can't do that, you ain't shit. Because we humans. We deserve the same fresh air, fresh grounds, fresh water, just like anybody else. We human, just like everybody else. So if I could get what I want, that's what I want them to do. Own up till they fuck up. That's the best way I could put it. Yeah.